to episode 109 of the Live Beyond Average podcast. I bet you look coming in here today. I was uploading one as you walked in. You probably thought we were on 108.
I would have said 108.
Yes. Uploaded a new one this morning while you were coming in. So, episode 108 of the Live Beyond Average podcast. Here with my co-host, Dustin Luebke. We are in late January already, the last few days of January, which means we're heading down to New Mexico in a few short weeks.
Yes.
I'm stoked. It's almost here, dude.
It is. It's kind of been that, you get so excited when you draw the tag back in, what was it, like April, early May?
Yeah.
And then it's out there, and all of a sudden, it's here.
You actually go through, when you draw that February hunt, you go through a dead time of like, where you almost forget that you have the tag or you're not looking that much forward to it because it's so far out. Literally, New Mexico reopens applications for the following year before you go on the hunt. So like, they're open already. You can apply again for the same hunt for next year and you haven't even hunted it yet.
Except me. Mine's once in a lifetime.
Except the oryx hunt that you have is once in a lifetime, but not the Barbary sheep hunt.
No.
I'm pumped for the sheep hunt, dude. This is number 3 for me. Third time down there.
Well, this is my first, and
yeah.
I'm excited to hike those hill country.
Oh, dude, hill country. You're going to be wishing it was hill country. You're going to be wishing them rocks were hills because it's steep.
Yeah.
It's steep, man. It's fun stuff. It's special. It's desert.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But everybody else, it's cool because it's a hunt where, everything else is closed up for the year. You know, everybody else kind of settling in. You're starting to do that revamp. You're starting to do the systems checks. You're starting to do the gear upgrades. And, that's normally where we'd be at right here if we didn't have that hunt.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
No, that's kind of what we were talking about today is just a little post-season stuff. You know, what do we do after the season's over and after we're done hunting?
Yeah.
You know, do we just throw stuff back in the closet, pile it all back in until we pull it out in August again?
Done it.
Yep, been there, done that. And then you're searching for stuff, and
right.
A little bit of organization goes a long way.
Yeah.
Over the years, I'm done hunting. Push it in there, push it in the closet, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, where's that pair of gloves? I know I had this shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
Pull your boots out, there's still mud on them.
And it's so easy to do because you get done with a long season and you're kind of like to that point of over it. You've been organizing, you've been keeping everything clean, you've been keeping everything, very quick to get out the door on weekends.
Yeah.
And so, so it's easy to load up in the truck, all of those advantages. And so you get to that where you're done and you do just kind of want to go throw it in the closet or throw it in your corner of your basement, whatever it is, and just not have to think about it for X amount of months. It turns out to be half the year.
Yeah.
And so, what are you going to do to, make sure your gear's lasting long, make sure you're upgrading the right things, replacing things, and, even when it comes to clothes, like, I know my gear, like your shirts, your undershirts, your base layers, you actually don't get as much time in life out of them when you just go like throw stuff in because they hold a little muss then, in the pits or whatever it is. Yep. Versus like getting everything washed up, folded up nice, put in your travel bag that you use. If I have a big, huge tote that not a tote, but a big like Cabela's bag that I put all my Sitka stuff in. And so I try to like at the end of the year, make sure everything's washed, organized, folded up, put it all in that bag, and then I can put it in my storage spot. But it makes the life of those clothes last longer.
Yeah, and I do the same. I have storage totes that I put mine in. I get certain totes for my pheasant stuff, certain tote for my archery stuff, and that also after I wash that up, I'll kind of go over them and I'll look through the shirts if they got a hole or a tear or same thing. A coat zipper's busted. I'll kind of make note of that stuff, and most of the time you can get away with not replacing it, but some of the times the stuff you just got to replace it. And, that's kind of when I look at, all right, X, Y, and Z broke this year. I had a tripod that the head snapped off.
Yep.
It's no good.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I have it still.
Right.
You know,
Why am I keeping
I
it?
can't get a replacement head for that brand.
Yeah.
Like, so either I need to get a different one, or just I didn't need it the last half of the year, so do I really need a different one?
Right.
Not really.
Yep. But at least it gives you that opportunity to start your checklist and start your gear list of what you need to replace for the following season, because we know the expense of hunting. And so we have application season. We're putting money towards that. And so, yeah, it helps you be able to budget for that. Okay, I got 6 months until I need this, this, and this. How am I going to distribute my money? Do I need to go, make a little extra money here and there so I don't get to 2 weeks out from season and I haven't replaced 6 things, and now I need to get all these things, and the expense then turns into a burden, right?
Yep.
We've been there.
Yep.
We've done that where all of a sudden you're like, boots, tripod, new jacket because I have a tear in it, socks, all of a sudden all these little things, and then you're like, oh, you're $700 in, you're $800 in, and you're like, crap.
Yes.
So, starting the checklist.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Starting
Start
that
the checklist. And with that, it's the same thing with the cleaning boots. I usually, I throw them in the bottom of my closet. Come next year, I'd pull them out, and you're good to go. I found that conditioning your boots, cleaning them all up, getting all the mud off of them, that stuff that sucks the moisture out of your leather and your boots, clean them all up, get a good boot conditioner, and condition them, and then stick them in there. The next year, they come out feeling real good. They don't feel all crusty, and
Nice.
I noticed it the most on my upland boots.
Okay.
They felt real dried out and real,
Stiff,
brittle.
kind of.
Yeah, and almost like and it just didn't feel right. And then I did that one year, and I'm like, well, now I guess I'll be doing boot conditioning.
I need to do a better job of that. Like, I just run boots into the ground, and I just move on to the next pair of boots. Like, I know if I would take a little bit more care of them like that, I'd probably get some more life out of them. But I feel like I put so many miles on them, and they just get worn out. I just toss them. It's more or less not the exterior, but the interior of my sole. Like, my feet just get super uncomfortable with them. I start dealing with Achilles tightness, and so I just I know the boot itself has more life out of them. Somebody could probably get some good use out of them, but I even replace soles in them, and I'm still just I can just tell my feet are not cooperating them after they break down so much. So I just I'm 2 weeks out from our New Mexico hunt, and I wore my boots from the last 2 seasons. I've used the same pair of those Summits, and I wore them out here a little while ago doing some stuff, and I was hiked a mile and a half. My Achilles was already killing me, and I'm like, oh, do I need to go drop money on a new pair for this hunt? And I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to run into Shields and maybe just grab a new pair for this hunt, because I'm going to need a new pair for next season anyway. So I'm like, I wasn't planning on spending the money until summer, but maybe just bite the bullet, have a fresh pair for this hunt, feel better.
And you can use your old ones for backup too.
Yep, I plan on taking them both.
Yeah, they're still good.
Yeah.
Eyelets in boots, something I overlooked too, and I had a pair where they had metal eyelets, and those started to crack or break.
Yep.
And they would cut the laces down.
Yes.
So then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get smart and switch to leather laces. Yeah, that worked. Saved me 4 more times of going out, and then they broke. They tore through it too. So having eyelets replaced, there is some boot places around that will, resole, put new eyelets in.
Right.
And then getting quality boot strings too.
Yeah, for sure.
Not getting the $2 cash register boot strings.
Yep.
Yep. Found that out too.
Your cost is going to be about the same when you're buying 5 pairs of $2 boot strings versus just 1 pair of $20 boot strings.
And there's nothing that frustrates you more than when you're pulling your boots tight and snap. It snaps halfway down.
It's always midway down. And honestly, this is my opinion. Maybe I just suck at relacing boots. I feel like you can never relace them to fit your foot the same after the original lacing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me because I'm just really picky about the way stuff feels. But I feel like the minute I replace my boot strings, the boots don't fit the same. It just bothers me, but I'm probably just weird.
Everybody's got their own little quirks.
We got our own little things, and that's my thing. I hate the feel of new strings on my boots. I'd rather just throw away the whole boot.
I think I'll buy the $5 or $10.
No, we're
boot
throwing
strings.
away the boot, Dustin.
Oh.
Replace a $300 pair of boots. Strings went bad.
Yep.
It's like buying a new pickup when your tires go bad.
And there are some people that.
Hey, I went and leased a new truck when my tires went bad. It was like, all right, $1,000 to register a new vehicle, $1,000 for new tires. Went and got upgraded the vehicle.
Yeah.
The payment was the same per month. It was a smart move. But it is a funny like mindset to be like, you know, replace a whole pair of boots because the strings went bad. I hate the feeling of it.
Yeah.
It just feels weird. But yeah, little things like that, replacing the eyelets, watching those strings, conditioning the boot. Get a whole nother season maybe out of your boot,
Yeah.
you know, versus and just comfortability.
The waterproofing.
Mm-hmm.
When you condition them, it really helps the waterproofing of
Right.
that boot. I know, you know, you'd take 4 or 5 seasons on a boot and it'll start leaking, your foot will start getting damp, and
Right.
you might have a good Gore-Tex layer in there, inner layer, and it's not going to be as good if you don't help the outside.
Right.
Help shed the water to the outside.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's boots. Boots, dude, are you the way with boots that you love them? It's like one of your favorite pieces of gear, but you hate spending money on them?
Yep.
That's how I am too.
I used to think that with running shoes was the same way.
It's 100% feel the same
When I
way.
was younger, you know, in college, I would get the, you know, obviously in college you can't buy super expensive shoes, so you'd get like the $35 Nikes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
Clearance.
oh, these are great. And then they'd hurt your feet, and
Shins, knees hurt.
yeah, you're buying 2 pairs a year. And then I went in and, you know, you walk on the pads and see what, you know, what shoe you should have, and you're like, man, the thing's like over $100. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's super comfortable. And the same thing with insoles too. You can change a lot with just an insole.
Oh, dude, I did that with my hunting boots the last couple times. Right away, I take out the stock insole, I throw in a good pair, and you can tell the difference. It's insane. But like, even with running shoes, I mean, yeah, my junior year when I was running track in college, I was same thing. I was running on like cheap Pumas. You know, I could buy 2 pairs for $70 online, and they were like they were for like your generic training, not our sprint training, but like, you know, going out for jogs, whatever, this and that, and our speed, like quick speed work where you're not wearing spikes, like. And I never had shin splints in my life, and I got shin splints so bad. Finally, they hurt so bad, I went and bought myself like a $130 pair of Asics, and my shin splints were gone in a week.
Yep.
And that's when I was like, my whole mindset on shoes went from cheap to like, okay. Like, price and quality and finding the right pair that fits you does matter.
They last
like,
longer. You get more miles out of them.
Yep.
Ultimately.
Yep, exactly. So that's when I started not being such a cheapo with shoes. I still use them too long. Like, I don't replace them fast enough, but when I do replace them, I try to get something a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. All right, so, on to the next thing. What you thinking?
Weapons.
Ooh. You clean your gun?
Not as much as I should.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people.
I'm a kind of a post-season guy. Especially like pheasant season.
Yep.
I can usually go with full season and then give it a really good clean in like this time of year. You know, when it's cold out and you want to do something, but you don't want to be outside doing it. So you know, I'll pull the gun out on the table and tear it all apart and clean it up, and then you look at it and you're like, man, I'm filthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just don't. It's something that I wish I was more, I guess, had a better attitude about.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'll clean it later.
Yeah.
And but it's always worked. I haven't had trouble with it jamming, or you know, some of the guns are so temperamental that if they get a little bit dirty, your rifles will start shooting different.
Right.
Your shotguns will start jamming. That type of thing. I haven't ran into that, so I guess I've been pretty fortunate.
Dude, I've kind of been the same. Like, I've never got excited about running back and cleaning my guns. Like, I do enjoy breaking down a pistol and like cleaning it up. Or I've always shot like Mossbergs that can just be like thrown in the mud and can still be shot. And so, yeah, I've just never had to like go back and clean my weapons as often. What changed that quite a bit for me was when I started. We started drawing some muzzleloader tags.
Yeah.
And muzzleloader, it's like you take 3 shots and you're cleaning that puppy out good.
Super temperamental.
Yeah, they're super temperamental. They do get filthy, and the more shots you take in them, the harder it is and the longer it takes to clean, and the more like abrasion you need to get everything cleaned off. And so that really changed like my mindset with cleaning weapons. It was just like I started muzzleloader hunting. I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is nasty. What happened was I borrowed one from a buddy. Well, my first year I didn't want to go buy a muzzleloader right through the tag, so I borrowed one from a buddy, and it was like insanely dirty. And I cleaned it up for them. Like they must have had it in their closet or something. And it took me forever to clean. Like it was insane. I was like, okay, I guess I definitely want to make sure I'm cleaning my own. And so when we bought one 2 seasons ago, bought a muzzleloader, and yeah, man, just like clean the heck out of the thing nonstop. Like you shoot it, you clean it. You never case it up without it being clean.
Right.
Like when we were hunting last year on a hunt with me and Devin used my muzzleloader to shoot a mule deer. Went back that night, like cleaned the heck out of it. Only took 1 shot on it, but cleaned the heck out of it. Got ready for my hunt the next day.
Yep.
Killed mine the next day. Like before we packed up and home, like cleaned the heck out of it. Like just gotta make a rule, like not casing it unless it's clean.
Yeah.
Now, my rifle on the other hand, like it doesn't get hardly grimy. Like if I'm cleaning it, it's not because of shooting. Like it's weird. My barrel doesn't collect carbon. Like I'll go out and shoot. You know, I had days where we were resighting in and shoot it. And I'll clean it, and I'm like, no, hardly any carbon comes out of the barrel. What the heck?
Yeah.
Just not a dirty gun. Like,
I think that's progressed too with bullets and loads.
Yeah.
Through the ammo manufacturers.
Yep.
And you know, reloading your own using better powders, cleaner burning powders, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say the same with the rifles. The only change being shotgun or rifle is if it's wet.
Yep. The weather.
Yep. If you get some snow, some rain,
For sure.
that will get some surface rust, and once you start getting surface rust, like on the rib of your barrel or anywhere in a shotgun or you know in those little creases, it's gonna come back all the time.
Yep.
And then you're looking at rebluing a barrel,
Exactly.
which is a big pain in the butt. So you know if you get some weather, get it wet, then it's almost a must when you come back in and before you and. You know, if you throw it in a gun safe, you don't want to spread that to other guns.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
just like a sickness.
Yep.
You
They
know,
have
you don't
moisture
want
in there, and
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. I think I learned that when I was like a little kid. I just like would come in from shooting rabbits and stuff, and I just throw my gun back in the gun case, and I'd come back, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, you didn't know.
Right.
You know, so you experience, you learn those things.
Thankfully, BB guns are cheap. And
Yeah, a little 20. That was 22,
Ooh.
but it was like, you don't want to be messing up your guns, you know.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Especially expensive ones now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a little rust spot on my nice TS Customs, and it's in like on the back of where like the firing pin. It was just from like coming in from a rainy hunt. I put it in my case, put it back in my pickup next morning. It already had like, and it brushes off, but you're right, it comes back pretty easy.
Yep. It'll be the first spot that comes back.
Yep.
Next time.
Yep. Exactly. It's nuts.
What about you know like say pro season you do some shed hunting.
Yeah.
And then and that season for you is starting to come up. That's not huge on my agenda, I guess, of things to do. But do you go back and like look for trails, look for like beds, looking for you know things that do you mark up mentally, or do you go in and kind of mark it on your GPS?
So a couple different things. Like one of the spots where I shed hunt, and I used to really get out early when I was younger because I was just so excited to go do something. Like I'd even go out and hike around in late December, like stupid. I found some really nice sheds in late December before, really rare.
Yeah.
I don't even go out till March now. Like unless snow's gone, and like for one, if there's going to be deer on the fields I'm going to be going to, I don't want to push them off before they drop their sheds.
Right.
And so I'm like, I don't even go in there until usually like late February, mid-March. There's deer around. We've had deer around here in South Dakota. I've had muleys that I've seen in April still packing. I have literally a trail cam picture of a small little buck over in Cook County when I used to archery hunt over here. That was still packing. I used a tiny little 3x3. He was still packing on May 4th. And then I had a same picture. He had like a big marking on his side. And then I had another picture of him on May 5th. And he had like little, like 1-inch velvet nubs. He had like dropped and grew like an inch. Like or maybe it was like May 6th. There was like a 30 some hour window in there or something that he dropped and grew. But he held on insanely long. I don't, for whatever reason, I have no idea. He's just a little dink. But
Yep.
I mean, I've seen a number of muleys out west that early April, April 3rd, April 4th, it's
still some in
still
Sioux
have-
Falls. I just
Yeah.
saw a couple
Yep.
days ago that had them down by the Big Sioux, and they were.
Yeah, and I think
have
that's
antlers.
it's early. Like January's still early. That deer are still holding on, and a lot of them are. But anyway, like, so a couple of the fields I know it's like super pendant on what the crops were on,
Sure.
and so whether they're going to go to that. I've gone to fields where I've had my record shed hunting days one year, where we pick up like 30, 40 on a field, in one little spot, me and Matthew, and then go back the following year. Field was different, and we find 2 sheds that were from the previous year that we just missed.
Sure.
And don't find any fresh ones. And so, food plot, big determiner, but yeah, like I'm another spot that I go to, I just kind of know where the deer, like where their bedding area is at. So like I'll always go check that just in case they hit that up late where they're bedding. I know a lot of times they head further south where they're wintering at, so I'm trying to find those fields where they're wintering.
Sure.
If you're trying to like scout a property, of course, like there's no better time than wintertime to go in and like carefully maneuver around and see deer trails, because you have the snow as evidence, right? So you can like learn deer trails that you might not necessarily see when it's really thick cover in there. So it's a good time to do, recon.
It's
it's
the other
awesome.
thing too is this time of year you can get through those thick areas.
Yes.
With relative ease.
Yep.
The snow's pushed down the grass.
Exactly.
A lot of that small, like brushy, weedy undergrowth
It's gone.
is gone.
Yep.
You can see a ways. You can,
Leaves are gone, so you can actually look through stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great time to get out and do that. I'm just so careful now that I'm older about like just deer pressure. Not pushing them around this time of year if I don't have to. Like just stay out of there for the most part. My recon's done. Yeah, from a distance. But if I'm like out in a new area, shed hunting or something like that, I'm just trying to go where I think animals are wintered.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go towards where I think there's more food for them. But, dude, I found sheds in like the oddest spots where, you know what I mean? Like deer travel and they just drop a shed when they're traveling, and depending on when they're moving, how harsh the winter is when they're moving back and forth to different areas that they like.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just changes so much too. But I kind of have a couple of my little hunting hole spots that I'm always going to go look no matter what, even if the food plot's not what I think it's going to pull much deer, I'm still going to go look.
Yeah.
So.
Well, never hurts to look, and
Yeah.
especially on days, when it's those mid-30s, sunny, and you need to get outside and soak up some vitamin D.
Yeah, I get to mid-March, man, and you get a 40-degree day, and I just want to go out.
Put some shorts on.
Dude, literally about put a pair of shorts
Midwestern.
on. 40-degree day out walking around is like being on the beach.
Yes. Yeah.
It's awesome. But you know what? It's weird. Like I used to really get stoked about shed hunting, and I still do. Like it's still fun for me, but it's different. I don't expend near as much energy or expenses to go do it now.
Yeah.
If I do go out, it's like I want to take Eva out for an afternoon,
Sure.
so I kind of have to be. Is the weather going to be good enough to go out? I'm not going to be able to go as long as I want or as far as I want because I'm having a 4-year-old, 5-year-old little girl with you. But it's like, it's at this point of my life, it's more about going out with them than it is even how many I get. It's like I just want to make sure we get 1 or 2 that she can be stoked about. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. Is just me and Amy went out to the hills last year, did a little hiking around. Like didn't find anything, found a couple little ones, but it was more or less for us just like get out there. Let's just hike for 2 days.
Right.
That's our exercise. Let's go just crush it for 2 days and have the packs on, pack some food, have some fun, like get away.
Yep.
I'm almost to the point where I can't wait till like the kids can come put on miles with us. They're still a little too small, but looking forward to that. So
Yeah. The other thing too is this time of year that really helps is pulling some meat out of the freezer and throwing it on the smoker or making your jerky, your summer sausage, stuff that I feel like a lot of the times we don't have time for in the fall because we're still in hunt mode.
Yep.
You still got a tag to fill, or you still want to do, like me, I want to late season December. I love pheasant hunting late season, so I'm not really gonna do a whole lot with processing stuff.
Right.
But I've seen a lot of guys. My next door neighbor, he just pulled out a bunch of deer meat, and he's grinding and smoking up some summer sausage, and because you got time to do it, and you don't have a lot of football on the weekends, so you can.
Everything slows down come February 1st is kind of that that time. So yeah, what a great time to actually expend some energy on trying some new recipes. Trying out a new your new smoking recipe, whatever it is, grinding up your meat. That's a good idea. And I want to spend some money on on a grinders. Start doing a little bit of that, even if it's not all of it, but just purely for some new things to do and try.
And
this time of year,
sometimes too, in December, you're fighting with your spouse or significant other for baking cookies and doing Christmas stuff.
Counter space.
And you're trying to pull a whole bunch of deer meat out. It's like that deer meat or wild game and cookies.
Yeah, kind of gross to have it on the same counter.
Stop that.
I didn't think of it like that. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I've been lazy the last couple of years and have had 90% of my stuff processed the last couple of years. I used to do all my deer myself, but last few years just so busy. I'm like, I usually cut it all up and put it in my freezer, and then I take it to the processor in January, February, because I don't want my stuff mixed with other people's. So I do that, but I typically get it done.
It depends too. I know my girls are kind of picky with some of the wild game stuff, so I'm going to make it into what they're going to eat.
Yes, so a lot of sticks, sausage.
Lots of sticks, summer sausage, make our own Lunchables,
Yeah, exactly. So much fun to do
that. Let them cut the meat up and cut the cheese up and make your own versus buying some
$5 tiny little package. It's gross anyway.
Sodium loaded.
Yeah. Well, dude, and I, talking about making stuff, our antelope that we shot, we did take that whole thing and, basically threw it on the counter, cut it up, and made our own jerky, and just tried several different recipes. Kept the back straps for steaks because they are phenomenal, but just kind of didn't have time to even didn't really want to haul it up to the packager either, so we just jerkied the whole thing, and that was fun. And we did antelope. There's not a ton of meat, so you can actually hammer that out in a few hours.
Right.
But that was fun too, just trying some new things. Where I could have had that same thing done, and it turned out really good. But it would have cost me 10 times the amount. So that was kind of nice to just do something different for once and not always have it done. But I always usually I spend an ample amount of money every year getting sticks made, summer sausage made. But like you said, it is how your kids get excited about it too. It tastes good. They don't know that it's just like buying something it's better than buying something at the gas station.
Oh yeah. And then I feel like some of that stuff, you can take a meat and cheese tray to a get together and pull that stuff out. And the wild game, the sticks, the summer sausage, stuff like that, people don't get that. Not everybody gets that. And it's kind of funny you get it and people are eating it. Oh, what's this? Oh, this one's a mule deer. They're like, what?
Yeah.
They look at it.
Yeah.
Kind of yeah, I guess. Then they go to town eating it.
Yep.
They could have never experienced that
before. And then they get excited about it, and the people get it. And then once they know, you come back the next year and they're like, did you bring any of those sticks that you brought last year? They get really excited about it. So it's
I do a lot of jalapeno pheasant poppers.
Yes.
Bacon wrap pheasant poppers with the pheasants that I get, and that's kind of my staple that I bring to get-togethers. And
that's awesome.
One gal, she's like, "Oh, these are amazing." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's pheasant in the middle," and she kind of looked at me, and I didn't know how she was gonna take it, and she was like, "Well, that's cool. Did you shoot it?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we did." Oh, and she just goes to town eating it. But you have to, the jalapeno poppers, there's a certain number you can eat before your next day is really not going to be pleasant once they start working.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you stop at 3.
Yep.
Stop at 3 or 4. Because you can eat 20.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
so
jalapeno
good.
Anything, I'm a fan. It's bad. The older I get, the more I'm getting into spicy food, and the more spicy food has a reaction on me. So it kind of sucks because I love it. But yeah.
That's something else too, is different recipes with the stuff that you get. This time of year, you're not doing as much outside, so you can look up different recipes, start mix and matching some wild game in where you would put chicken or where you'd put beef or pork.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that in there and some, pork fried rice. You could throw some venison in there and just do it a little bit different.
Yeah, and I mean, great time to, like, I just hit up to Walmart and buy a ton of different seasonings because they have like an awesome aisle of just, their aisle now, the one new one in town is insane. And I just have like, just go and I'll pick up an extra one or two every time we go shopping, and then you have a huge cupboard full of just a variety of these seasonings. Start playing around with different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it, it makes it a lot of fun because you are having a lot of the same meat frequently, but now you're changing flavors.
Right.
And that's what makes it where you're not burning yourself out of having similar meats all the time.
Yep.
So.
No, I throw a lot in chili.
Mm-hmm.
Make a lot of different chilies with it.
Yes.
I know we tried just some straight venison burger and throwing that in with like pastas, like spaghetti or lasagna. That was a little too gamey.
Was it?
For my family.
Sure.
I thought it was okay, but
yeah,
they're like,
yeah. And see, I do almost all exclusive elk now versus deer burger. So it's, elk, you can get away with that. Like, I don't add any fat to it. I eat straight burger. But yeah, venison, I'm like, it's weird the different taste between deer and elk. I used to think deer was the best thing on the planet.
Yeah. And
then I started eating elk, and I was like, I'll give away all my deer every year.
I mean, the other thing too is what those deer eat.
Oh yeah, for sure. You get a Black Hills buck on pine cones and needles. That's way back in the hills versus a
corn-fed whitetail.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
It's just like beef,
for sure.
Grass-fed and corn-fed.
Yep.
It's obviously going to taste better than corn-fed.
Yep, for sure. I don't disagree with you at all. But it's weird because antelope eat nothing but goat heads and prairie grass, and I think antelope antelope is amazing.
Right.
One of the best meats you can even get.
If it's prepared right from the field, processed right.
Oh yeah, dude, you
don't
don't
care of.
Leave it out in the hot sun and throw it on behind your tailpipes for a 9-hour drive. You gotta get it cut up, put in your cooler, ASAP. Get it out of the sun. Then it's money.
Right.
It's absolutely one of the best meats you can possibly have, I think. So.
Yeah.
Is that all you got?
That's kind of all I got for today.
A little post-season prep. You know what I mean? Like getting thinking, when things are slowing down, how can you spend some of those slow days, those weekends, and still kind of be in hunt mode, fun mode, where we all get kind of bummed out this time of year. You're happy to be home, but at the same time you're missing it.
Right.
You're missing those times. So how can you use some positive, build some positive energy with it, and one, disperse expenses if need to. We talked about that at the beginning. Learn some new things with food and recipes. And storage.
Organizing your storage area, organizing your clothes.
And saving money in the long run by keeping care of gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of positive things that can come from this time of year from a hunting aspect. And then just like we talked about the shed hunting or just whatever, like the fun stuff, the cooking new recipes. So a lot of different ways to spend some of these dead weekends here over the next few weeks
and
be productive.
We've got that ATA show, just archery show that just happened. SHOT Show's coming up.
It happened last week.
I
missed it already.
Oh, SHOT Show. I mixed them up.
Yep.
With the Sportsman's Expo's coming up.
Yep.
So a lot of ideas are going to start floating around about new gear that's going to come out too.
Yeah.
And, say you broke that piece of gear and you're looking at something new, or that stuff's way out of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's just super gimmicky.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to look into that stuff now too that's coming out. And
for sure. And maybe score deals on some stuff that you wanted from last year that's now last year's model that, get it on sale. So
yeah.
Great time to save some cash. Don't wait till last minute.
No, because it's definitely not on sale
It's not. It's
last minute.
Comes into season, it's not on sale, and you're loading your credit card up, replacing everything all at once.
It's now the new bows are all out, the new guns are starting to roll out, the models. So those hunting shows that filmed where those guys were using it last year, that their new season's rolling out now. So you're going to start seeing a lot more advertising for the new gear and the stuff that they were using on the hunts now too.
Right.
So some of that stuff's interesting to see, and other stuff it's like, I'm just fine with what I'm using.
Exactly. It's fun, but it's always fun to learn new stuff. So thanks for jumping on another episode of the Live Beyond Average podcast. We really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Probably see you in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
From New Mexico.
From New Mexico, that's right. That's gonna be awesome, dude.